Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So next, first one up, Maxx Crosby of the Raiders. This would be possible just because the Raiders are going to be cleaning house, and they're pretty serious about what they're trying to do. Despite there being a negative $9.3 million cap hit, that would be dead money straight up. Like, that would hurt. To trade for Maxx Crosby, you have to give up a lot. And the reason why I think it's possible, because recently Maxx Crosby had a quote saying, I'm not here to rebuild, I'm here to win. Wherever I'll be here to win. That sounds to me like a guy who's been told that we're going to trade you. And it sounds to me that's the kind of guy who's going to say, hey, I guess I'll go anywhere, and wherever I'm going to go, I'm going to work just as hard. And I love Maxx Crosby's mindset. I love his work ethic. He seems like a great locker room guy, even though that Maxx Crosby and the 49ers kind of had this, animosity towards each other. That's just because he's a Raiders fan, and Raiders, for the most part, do not like the Bay Area because they used to be part of the Bay Area, but not anymore. So hopefully he can put that beside him and be like, hey, the 49ers gave up X amount of picks for this guy. And personally, I would give up 2 first-round draft picks and a second and plus, or whatever it may be. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league, and him across from Nick Bosa would be a game changer. Something that we would love to see, I'm sure, as 49ers fans. So whatever animosity there is, I'm sure we're all willing to squash it to take Maxx Crosby. So, and again, it sounds like it's a possibility from Maxx Crosby's own mouth. If he did not say something like that, I would expect a trade for him just because that's negative $9.3 million against the cap. They don't save any money if they trade him. So there would have to be a huge there would have to be a big offer. Raiders don't like to trade with us. I know. I'm trying to the last time. I think we traded with them not too long ago, didn't we, though? The last time they traded with the Niners was for draft picks in 2021 in the draft. So, I mean, they're willing to do that, so it's possible. But, yeah, it's been a while, and I'm sure they would have to give up a lot. But I think that because they're no longer in the Bay Area, I think we can let go of some of the animosity. There might be some old heads and stuff like. Even I have some animosity towards Raiders fans because I was around during the whole Bay Area battle thing. I was around for that time. So I'm saying it like it was ages ago. This is like, I don't remember how long ago they moved. I made it sound like this was a long time ago, but I think we're at a point where we can let something like that go. You know what I mean? I would just love to see it happen. But let's move on to the other players as well. DJ Jones of the Broncos. They would save $9.9 million. I get him. Get him. I mean, the Broncos are sinking in. They're falling apart. I think he would be an excellent addition. Already been part of the 49ers. That's where he was drafted, or was he undrafted free agent? Even check. Hold on. Pretty sure he's undrafted free agent. Pretty sure. 6th round. It was a 6th round pick. Okay, so he is a draft pick from the 49ers, 6th round pick. Awesome guy. He's still amazing to this day, and I think we should pick him up and trade him. What would I trade for him? I don't know, maybe 4th round pick. Not too much, because we all know how much GMs value these draft picks. Some people I would trade a 2nd round pick for him, blah, blah, blah. But it's all about value and what we could trade for this guy. And I would totally trade for DJ Jones. 110%. So let me know what you guys think. I love DJ Jones. I think it'd be a great choice. Next up, you got Haasan Reddick of the Jets. A lot of people don't like this because he's going through this whole drama issue and he wants a new contract. But the reason why I think it's possible, it's because he's stuck between a rock and a high place. You know what I mean? And I think that he would seriously benefit by going to a team, win a Super Bowl, take the check that he's got now, and then take whatever money he's got left and help hopefully pay off his bills. That's what he's going to have to do, considering he's owed, I think right now almost like $21.5 million or some shit like that. It's crazy. I don't know. I think if Haasan Reddick is desperate and he doesn't mind coming to the 49ers despite the history that he has with the team, there's just get past that. Again, just get past your feelings there. I would have it. If he was willing to play, comes into practice, I don't think he'll do great off the get. I don't think he'll do great at the start just because he hasn't been practicing or playing any games at all. So it's going to take him a minute to kind of adjust to everything, just like Ayuk did or any other normal-ass player. It takes about 4+ weeks. So if we traded for him, we probably wouldn't get or see much of Reddick until maybe week 12 or week 13. And so, what is that worth? What is that worth to you? Is that worth a 2nd round pick to the whole swap thing? No, especially with the turmoil they got going. 3rd, no. A 4th, a 5th, definitely. I would do a 5th. If he decides to come back to the squad, play, not throw a hissy fit, understand that, hey, we're not paying you, we're just going to pay you the money that you're owed, then I say why not? I say why not? 5th round pick, I do it because we desperately need DN. Floyd is missing in action. Beal's not the answer. Samo is our best pass rusher, and he plays inside and out. He plays the Gross Matos role. Now, I wonder when we get Gross Matos back. Actually, next up, you got DeAndre Hopkins. This was mine. I kind of looked at it. I didn't see Larry Krueger talk about it. I didn't see other people talk about it or anything. But I think D-Hop would be great. I mean, they'd save plus $6 million, the Titans would. And I wouldn't mind having if you throw him a cheap pick for a solid wide receiver, especially with all the injuries that are constantly happening. Don't know if Ayuk is fully back yet. D-Hop is still balling. I would be open to the idea of having D-Hop here. And then if you ask me who would be cut to keep D-Hop, obviously Ronnie Bell. If you got traded Ronnie Bell and a 6th round draft pick for DeAndre Hopkins for half a year, why not? Why not? I think it is possible they would save $6 million. So they can trade DeAndre Hopkins. So anyway, DeAndre Hopkins, I think would be a great addition, save $6 million and trade him for Ronnie Bell in a 6th round pick. That's kind of how I see it. Why not? Next up, I looked up Arden Key because I know that the Titans aren't doing very well. So I kind of thought to myself, hey, what's Arden Key doing? How does he look? Would we be able to get him? Nah, we won't be able to get him. They would lose money, $6.4 million. They got him for a couple of years. It won't happen. So Arden Key's not an option. I thought that would be, but I can't see the Titans trading and then willing to sacrifice negative $6.4 million. And he's not disgruntled either. So it's like, why would you trade a player who's not disgruntled, you know? Next up, you got Aiz Ali from the Giants. This is from Larry Krueger. This is a possibility. This one's actually a possibility. It is his last year, and the Giants would save $1.5 million. I'm not against that. I think if he's starting for the Giants, and the Giants aren't doing too bad on D-line. I know they're getting a lot of crap, but they're getting some sacks. They got some sacks on that D-line. And Aiz Ali, I don't think is actually a bad option. I think that'd be a great option. He's fast. He can come off the edge. He's better than Beal Jr. He's better than probably even Leonard Floyd at this point. So I think Aiz Ali would be a great choice, especially in our scheme. He's in a 3-4 right now, so he could jumping to a 4-3 and just pinning his ears back and going straight at the quarterback could be more of his thing. He is 6'3", I believe, 240. So he's just on that teetering frame. And we all know how much right now this defense is, because I've seen Leonard Floyd jump into coverage. I've seen Kevin Givens go into coverage. So this defensive scheme loves fast players, and Al-Jawari has some coverage ability. I'm not saying he's great, but he has some, which would be better than Devondre Campbell, I think, or even better pass rushing right now is Leonard Floyd. We'll see. I think so far, Aiz Ali has been a great opinion to trade for that guy, according to other people, not just Larry Krueger, but other people have also brought him up. And I kind of agree. I think that would be a good option. I think Aiz Ali would be a great option. It's realistic. I tried looking up Cortland Sutton from the Broncos, but that's not possible. He just signed a contract. It'd be $11 million and $11 million. And I think last year, oh no, he just signed a contract. Okay. As a Chiefs fan, I can confirm Raiders suck. Yes, they do. They're absolutely terrible. They're going to get a top pick again and probably draft Shedeur Sanders, or I noticed that Quinn Ewers has been falling from the draft a little bit. I can't remember the name of the top quarterback that's above Sanders sometimes in draft. I can't think of the name. But there's a couple that they can get after that could be pretty good. Next up, we got Garrett Bowles. I thought of Garrett Bowles. Why not? Plus $16 million. It's his last year in his contract. He's a good O-lineman, and if they fall apart and they're not doing very well and they want to rebuild and move on from Garrett Bowles, why not? If I'm a 49ers fan and we got $50+ million in cap space, I would take that $16 million, dude. I would take all of that. So I think Garrett Bowles would be a great choice, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about that or even thinking about it, because let me go. I have to double check on his let me check his over the cap again, because a lot of people, I don't know why no one's talking about that, if it's possible. Yeah, so this is his contract right now. Let me try and share it. Where's it at? DJ Jones, Garrett Bowles contract. Okay. Get out of my face. This is according to Over the Track. So if this is not correct, I apologize. He's 32 years old. Yes, but it'd be a 1-year rental. They would save $16 million with $4 million in dead cap. It'd be a 1-year rental. Trading for Garrett Bowles right now would be perfect. I know he's a left tackle, but he can play right tackle. He can play right tackle, and that's what I would do. Hey, man, you want to try to win a ring? You want to play right tackle? And I think he's actually not that bad. I would do it. Is he hurt? Is he hurt or something? Because Garrett Bowles injury. Is he hurt? All shows were negative. Good news. Yep. So he's fine. The last injury he had was September 9th, 2024, and he's good. So I don't know. I think that'd be a great option, Garrett Bowles. Garrett Bowles is a left tackle for the Broncos, but he can also play right tackle as well. He's a good left tackle. He's a good tackle in general, and I think the 49ers can seriously benefit from having a better tackle because we all know that McKivitz is not good, even though he is performing well this year. But I think that's because of Dominic Puni is so good. It's complimenting him. And I think George Kittle is also complimenting him on his blocking. So I think McKivitz's stats and how he's playing right now is just being masked by the play of the people around him, beside him. And I think that adding Garrett Bowles would seriously leap this offense into what would be a lot better. It would be significantly better, I think, on the right side. That the only problem that the 49ers have on the O-line, I think at that point, would be center, which would be a huge upgrade from last year already, just by getting a left tackle or a tackle. Sorry, I kind of said the left tackle because we have Trent Williams. And if Trent Williams gets hurt, we got Garrett Bowles going from right tackle, left tackle, and have McKivitz back at right tackle. I just think it would be a great rental and be like, hey, guess what? You want to protect Brock Purdy? Hey, you want an opportunity to win a Super Bowl, and not go down with the Broncos? He's 32 years old, guys. He's 32. Last year's contract. Why not? Why not go after this guy? Next up, we got this option was from Larry Krueger. This is Devon Lloyd from the Jags. I don't think they would trade him this year. They would have negative $4 million in dead cap space. And that's not good, especially for a player, again, who's not disgruntled or asking for a trade, or there's no trade rumors really about him. Next year, though, it would make a lot more sense because next year they would save no money, but they wouldn't lose any money. So I think that trading for him next year would probably be a lot more logical. And all right, so they would save $0 next year, but they would have $7 million in dead cap if they traded Devon Lloyd next year. So either way, the Jags are kind of in a tough spot if they trade Devon Lloyd. Devon Lloyd, I feel like in this situation, would have to request to trade himself or say, hey, I'm disgruntled and I want out of here. I feel like that's the only way that this would happen because that cap hit just doesn't make sense for a player who's young, and the cap hit would just be a little too rich in the sense of like just get rid of a guy because you're losing your season, especially since he's young. I don't see that being an option. And that is Larry Krueger's guy, Devon Lloyd. It would be awesome to have Devon Lloyd. I would love it if we had Devon Lloyd. It's just not in the cards. That's really just a want thing. Like, hey, that'd be really neat, but a lot of things would have to happen for the 49ers trade for just Devon Lloyd. Again, negative $4 million in just cap savings. So they wouldn't save money. They would negative $4 million. They would owe money. Then the next year they would owe no money, but they would $7 million in dead cap space. So Devon Lloyd is not an option. Next up, Larry Krueger again, Tutu Atwell. Tutu Atwell is according to Larry Krueger, a very fast, explosive player, runs a 4.2. He loves him. He's been raving about trading for him. I'm pretty much all off season into the season to trade for Tutu Atwell. That's not going to happen. And the reason why that's not going to happen is because kind of like what Noah Boder Sports says, like there's that animosity, like, hey, there's that hate towards the 49ers, the Raiders. The Rams are divisional rivals. They're divisional rivals. They're not going to help us win a Super Bowl. They're not going to help us give a play. The only way that they would trade Tutu Atwell to us is if they don't believe in him and that they would completely rob the 49ers. There is no way in any world that the Rams are going to be like, yeah, let's go ahead and just trade 49ers, make sure that help them get better and help them win a Super Bowl. That's not happening, dude. That's not happening. Look, I love Larry Krueger. I like him. I watch him every day. I do. But I think he's got to let go of the Tutu Atwell thing because that's just not possible. The reason why the Commanders traded Jahan Dotson to the Eagles is because he sucked. They knew he sucked. And they were like, okay, this could be highway robbery. No one just trades with their divisional rival. Nobody. And I don't even if Tutu Atwell is as good as Larry Krueger said, that's not happening. It's just not happening. And then he said this, which kind of just gave me the bad chills. And I mean this with love, but he says that he would trade Jacob Cowing for Tutu Atwell. Oh, he said it so casual and nonchalant. He was like, I don't know, just give him Jacob Cowing and a draft pick. Just give us Tutu Atwell, and then we would be explosive. What? Go ahead and trade Tutu Atwell. Sorry, let's just trade for Tutu Atwell by giving up Jacob Cowing. I mean, I downright dropped my pen. I was writing down. I was like, okay, he says Tutu Atwell, and I was like writing some stats up, looking some things up, and then I heard that. And I was like, what the F, dude? That's crazy, man. There's just so many things wrong with that. Yeah, I would not trade Jacob Cowing for Tutu Atwell, dude. I would not do it. Next up, we got this one again. This one would be a dream. This is from Larry Krueger as well. Darnell Savage. Excellent player. Fantastic player. Excellent safety. He can play nickel as well. Super fast. One of the best safeties in the league, man. He's so good. He just signed a contract this year. They're not trading him. That's not possible. That is a negative $9.7 million cap hit this year. That's in savings. That's not even dead money. That's negative $9.7 million if they traded him. And then a year after that, negative $5.4 million. They just signed him this year. Darnell Savage is not possible. It's not possible. So I'll just move on quickly from that. But he wanted Darnell Savage, talked about Darnell Savage. He's not wrong. Amazing player. If we trade for him, awesome. But rarely, and I mean rarely, does a player, and I can't recall the last one, that signs a contract, a big one, fully first year of all those guarantees, trading them that year that they signed him. I've only seen that in Madden leagues. I'm telling you. So Darnell Savage is not a possibility. Another Larry Krueger one, Von Miller from the Bills. He says, he still raves about him, says that he's explosive, big on key downs. I don't think he's been explosive or big on key downs in years. I can't remember the last time this dude was a game changer. The moment he went to the Bills, he kind of did on his first year. Like, he wasn't that bad. But then he was terrible. Like he just fell off the grid, okay? Love Von Miller. He's a legend, man. Going to be a Hall of Famer. But it's past his prime, way past his time. And, yeah, he's 35 years old. And also, it would be negative $15 million if they traded Von Miller today. So, not even because he's not good enough and we shouldn't trade for him, period, because he's no longer that player. We shouldn't trade for him because he's negative $15.4 million against their cap if the Bills traded him this year. That's not even counting dead money. So that's not going to happen. There's no way they're going to trade for Von Miller. This is according to Over the Cap, of course. So if Over the Cap is wrong, my apologies. But according to Over the Cap, at age 34, if they were to cut him, trade him, or whatever, it would be $15.4 million against their cap. Then next up, this one I like, actually. This is my favorite one that Larry Krueger brought up that I 100% agree with, 100% would love to have, 100% would not deny for a heartbeat. This is the best one. Well, next to Maxx Crosby, of course. But this is my bet. This is the best one. Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson would be a beast, would be an excellent excellent addition to the San Francisco 49ers. He would complement Nick Bosa greatly. He's still playing fantastic this year. And we would be able to take him from the Lions as well, who are now looking for a pass rusher with Aiden Hutchinson gone. Personally, and I this is just me, and 49ers fans may disagree with me on this, but I think D-end is way more of an issue than D-tackle. Just because, yeah, you're like, oh, but Hargrave's gone. Now, I guess Malik Collins being hurt is kind of a big deal too. But I believe in Clea Davis and Kevin Givens and Evan Anderson way, and I mean way more than Sam Beal Jr. and Leonard Floyd at this point. There's only one D-end right now that's not named Nick Bosa that I kind of like and believe in, and that is Samo. There is nobody else I believe in on that D-end side. We need to get somebody who's, no offense to Samo, he's doing great. We need to get somebody who actually can be a game changer, who can get to the quarterback. That thing we were looking for with Leonard Floyd, we're not getting it. And I think Trey Hendrickson can be that missing piece. I think Trey Hendrickson can be a possibility. He'll be a free agent in 2026, not next year. It's not a void year next year. He'll be a free agent in 2026. However, if they were to trade him this year, they would save $12 million in cap. I think that would be a great addition, perfect opportunity, $50 million in cap space. I think getting Trey Hendrickson is probably that one, and Aiz Ali are probably like the two most realistic ones I think that's been offered so far from what I heard from Larry Krueger. And Aiz Ali from other people as well. So Aiz Ali, Trent Hendrickson, I love a lot. Maxx Crosby would be a dream, but I just don't see that happening just because kind of like what No More Sports said, it's just like that rivalry. Mark Davis is there. And I just feel like there's animosity that Maxx Crosby has towards the 49ers, especially after hearing what he had to say about them during the Super Bowl because we played in their stadium. I feel like if the Lions played in their stadium and the Chiefs played in their stadium, unlike him saying, oh, I'm not going for either one of them, I want them to both lose, I feel like he would say, I want the Lions to win in that situation. I feel like the Raiders would do him good. I think the Raiders would do him justice by trading him to the Lions if above anyone else. I mean, the 49ers would have to offer up a lot. And I mean a lot, I feel like. So I think the realistic ones are Ojulari and Trey Hendrickson. The dud ones, I would say, that he brought up were Devon Lloyd and Darnell Savage and Tutu Atwell are the two ones that I feel like are just impossible. It's just not going to happen. Then he brought up Walker Little from the Jags. He's a tackle. He's their third depth tackle, according to Larry Krueger. They would save $1.69 million. I'm not against it. Why not? I mean, their team is losing. They're not very good. They need draft picks, and we need a tackle. I'm not against that. Why not? Let's pick up Walker Little. I'm not against that whatsoever. Emanuel Forbes. That sounds like a magazine. I know Forbes is a magazine, but like the whole thing does. Commanders. He's not doing very good on that team. He's getting pushed around. You all know he is scrawny. He's not very strong. Larry Krueger is just stuck. When he loves a player in college, he will love a player throughout his rest of the career, even if he proves himself to be bad. Even if he doesn't prove himself to be like remotely good or anything like he was in college, he'll believe in him until the 49ers pick him up and see what he can do. Because Emanuel Forbes is not playing good. He's not playing well at all. And yeah, the 49ers may be able to get that talent out of him, but to be excited and be like, hey, we got to get this guy, those pick sixes in college, it's just not a thing, man. Like, I don't think college at this point in your career is a good reference for who you are in the NFL. The NFL can tell you what your potential is against technically sub-level competition because you're playing players out there that don't even make the NFL. But now who are you when you play against people who are in the NFL? And that's what Forbes is a victim of. I don't believe in Forbes. I don't think he's good. I don't think he'd be a good option. I disagree with Larry Krueger on this one. I think we should let that go, especially since we got Green, Lenore, and Ward. I know he said, hey, we should do it so we can invest in the corner position because Ward's going to be gone next year. But I think with Lenore and Green out there being the solid two pieces, I think the third guy to the fourth guy is something they'll just cycle through. I don't think it's something – I don't think it's urgent to be, hey, who's going to be that third corner on the 49ers next year? I don't think it's that urgent. When you got two solid pieces in Ronaldo Green and Lenore, and you got problems everywhere else that really need more of your attention, I feel like trading for a guy that you want to be that third guy is just going to be a waste of a draft pick, I think. And especially if we don't even know if he's going to help us. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the Forbes. Respectively, of course. Respectively. This one next, I haven't done any research on it. Shame on me. Shame on me. This is from the NFL.com site. This is what the NFL will say are free agents, not free agents, but possible trade targets, according to NFL.com. And you guys let me know what you guys think of these possible trade targets. Trayvon Walker from the Jags. He was a first overall pick over Aiden Hutchinson. Of course, it is a Trent Baalke. He is he's like the worst, one of the worst DMs out there. He's just as bad as, I can't remember who the GM was for the Raiders. Matt Miyoko, I think, not Matt Miyoko, Matt Mayock. Is that his name? Mike Mayock? Can't remember his name. Picking Colin Farrell. Not Colin Farrell. Pharrell Collins. Is that his name? What's his name? I'm tripping. You guys know who I'm talking about. He's terrible at drafting. He overthinks the draft. He was like, oh, this guy's the most athletic guy there. He's going to dominate. He's going to be the best, even though he had like no production in college. Again, you're going against subpar competition. And if you're getting no production in college, like, you're fast, great. You're raw, great. But to pick him over Aiden Hutchinson is insane to me, man. That is insane. But would I be excited if the 49ers traded for Trayvon Walker? I would, yeah. I'd be excited about the potential. You know, maybe we can get something out of him. But I personally, at the time when we drafted him, I didn't think he was that good. I thought he was supposed to be like a second-round pick or a late first-round pick. Somehow he got some rave. Some people got some love, and suddenly he was a first overall pick by the Jags. Trayvon Walker, I wouldn't be ecstatic. But I would be open to the idea of Trayvon Walker. What would I give for him? Man, I can't even think of anything, dude. Hope it's something nothing like a fifth or a fourth for a guy like that. But maybe something next year. Just because I don't know what I'm getting with Trayvon Walker because I don't think he's that good. Next up, you got Treylon Burks, the wide receiver for the Titans, who they traded A.J. Brown to get Treylon Burks. Not really. I don't think we need a guy like that. I'd rather have D-Hop instead because D-Hop is just way more polished. We need a vet. Treylon Burks is just a project, and we got plenty of projects we're going through right now. I don't think Burks is that good either, so I would move on from him. Next up, you got Andre Cisco from the Jags, the safety. I'd be open to that. I would trade something for him. We need depth at safety with Hufanga constantly getting hurt. We got a rookie at Mustafa who I like, who has been hurt before. And if he goes down, we're thin there because then we would have Mahoney, who I do like. He is undrafted and he's not polished yet. He's still raw. And I think Andre Cisco, who's super fast, I think would be perfect for the San Francisco 49ers scheme. I would be open to that. That's probably my favorite one so far mentioned by NFL.com. Next up, we got Deontay Johnson of the Panthers. Why not? You know, I know that Larry Krueger's talking about how we need a fast guy. We need Jolt. He's super fast. Get it done. Deontay Johnson's that guy. He's really not that bad. He's a little dramatic in Pittsburgh. Not as dramatic as George Pickens, but he was dramatic. With the Panthers, I haven't heard much about him, and he hasn't complaining or anything like that. So obviously, whatever the water they're drinking, the Steelers, is causing their wide receivers to be divas because the Panthers, I haven't heard much about Deontay Johnson being a diva at all. I would trade for Deontay Johnson. I would be open to the idea. Again, Larry Krueger's talking about how we need a speed guy. We get somebody on the field. We do have Jacob Cowing, who is like a Deontay Johnson kind of type wide receiver. However, Deontay Johnson is more polished and can help us win a Super Bowl. I'm open to the idea. Be great on jet sweeps. No offense to Debo, but he's not the same guy on those. Deontay Johnson has that burst. He can get it done. I'm open to that as well. Greg Newsome from the Browns, cornerback. Again, we're kind of the same boat where it's like we got Ward. And I understand it's not a main priority. Corner is not a main priority. But if we got him, I'm way higher on him than Emanuel Forbes that Larry Krueger threw out there. I think Greg Newsome would be a better option than Emanuel Forbes, 110%. Would he be more expensive to trade for him? Of course. But that's because he's better. And in the Super Bowl window, we need better players, not projects. Just saying. Emanuel Forbes from the Dolphins. Why not? They're falling apart. We need a pass rusher, and Forbes pass rusher, man. He can get done. He's not bad. Let's go out in there and get him. I like it. I think let's look at his stats. What's Forbes' stats, actually? You know what? Let me take that back if his stats were sub. What's his? He's got 2 sacks so far this year and an interception with 18 tackles. Yeah, man, I'd trade for that guy. I'd trade for that guy. Why not? I'd trade for that guy. He's doing better than the other pass rushers we got. 110%. I'd trade for Forbes from the Dolphins. Good option. And then last but not least is Josh Uche. I can't say his name. I don't know his last name. But he's a pass rusher for the Pats. Why not? I'd be open to trading for him as well. Those guys, I feel like, are a lot more possibility, like Uche or Ogba would be great. DeAndre Johnson and Cisco I would love, or even Greg Newsome. As for Treylon Burks and Trayvon Walker, not really. Emanuel Forbes, Commanders, not open to the idea. We don't need a project at corner. Walker, Little, we can take whatever we can get for offensive linemen, whatever we can get. I'm open to that idea. Not expensive, obviously, if he's a third tackle, but I'm open to the idea. My favorite one that's been brought up so far is Trey Hendrickson and Aiz Ali, all good pass rushers that we could use that would be better than what we have right now and make us closer to a Super Bowl. They would instantly make us better. Players that we can't trade for that would be awesome. They're just good players that were brought up was Darnell Savage. That's not possible. He just signed a new contract this year. That is not happening. Cortland Sutton, I brought him up. I didn't know he signed a contract, but he did. And that's just not possible. I also brought up Arden Keeks, thinking like maybe he's available. He's not a possibility. D-Hop, I think, is probably the most realistic wide receiver to get, that he would help us right away. He's a vet. He's a plug-and-play guy, and he would be a significant upgrade to Ronnie Bell. I would trade Ronnie Bell in a pick for him immediately for that rental. I really would. I feel like the one underrated one that no one's talking about, I feel like we should start talking about, is Garrett BS. It is his last year. Broncos saved $16 million. He's a good tackle, 32 years old. He can play right tackle. If Trent gets hurt, he can play left tackle. That's probably my favorite one now that I think about it. I think him and Trey Hendrickson, and Aiz Ali, I feel like are more possible than the rest. While Maxx Crosby would be a dream, would be an absolute dream. Haasan Reddick, I don't know, because I don't know if he's good or not. He hasn't been practicing. He hasn't been on the field. So I'm not excited about that. DJ Jones would be outstanding. That's another one I love. So these are the players so far, based on rumors that I've heard around the league. You just heard me talk about all of them. These are the top guys based on you collectively from what we just talked about, from what we saw so far. I like the dream guy is Maxx Crosby. Dude, I would be ecstatic for ex-49ers guy who just instantly be plug and play and be a killer. Next to Malik Collins is DJ Jones. That is somebody I would love a lot. So that's 1, 2. D-Hop, I'm not against it. He would be an upgrade from Ronnie Bell, and he'd be worth having that guy on the team, just in general. I mean, we need wide receivers because wide receivers like Juwan Jennings is getting hurt. Pearsall still trying to come back. We have question marks. D-Hop would help fill in those question marks until those players get better. Aiz Ali, don't know why I struggled to say that. That would be awesome. And then Garrett BS. And where is that? Trey Hendrickson. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 players that I feel like would make the 49ers instantly better and would be plug and play without any concerns. They're not projects. They're not things that would hinder the team, not things we have to think about. These players, Trey Hendrickson, Garrett BS, Aiz Ali, DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Jones, and Maxx Crosby would all be plug-and-play dominant players. And you were done with those available possible trade targets for the San Francisco 49ers.